வணக்கம், என் பேர் பிரபு. நான் யங் இந்தியன்ஸ் மதுரையோட மெம்பராக இருக்கேன். யங் இந்தியன்ஸில் வந்து வருஷம் யங் இந்தியன்ஸ் பார்லிமெண்ட் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி ஒரு செஷன் நடத்துவாங்க குழந்தைங்களுக்கு. இது வந்து யங் இந்தியன்ஸில் தளிர் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ப்ரோக்ராம் மூலமாக ஸ்கூல் சில்ட்ரனுக்கு அது நடந்துக்கிட்டு இருக்குது. இந்த ப்ரோக்ராமில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா ஒரு மாக் பார்லிமெண்ட்டை வந்து நாங்கள் அப்படியே வந்து அவங்களுக்கு உருவாக்கி கொடுப்போம். அதை 2 நாள் அவங்க தான் கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து நடத்துவாங்க. இந்த எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வந்து பாலிட்டிக்ஸ்னால் என்ன, ஒவ்வொரு பதவியில் என்னென்ன பொறுப்புகள் இருக்குது, எந்த அளவுக்கு அவங்களால வந்து பாலிசிஸ் வந்து கொண்டு வர முடியும், அவங்களோட தொகுதிகள் பற்றி அவங்க அறிஞ்சிக்கிறதுக்கு, இந்த மாதிரி விஷயங்களில் வந்து அவங்க நல்லா வந்து ட்ரெயின் ஆவாங்க. இந்த யங் இந்தியன்ஸ் பார்லிமெண்ட் வந்து அந்த இடத்துல வந்து 3 லெவலில் நடக்கும். ஒன்று வந்து சிட்டி லெவலில் நடக்கும். யங் இந்தியன்ஸ் வந்து இன்றைக்கி அக்ராஸ் இந்தியா வந்து 72 சிட்டிஸில் இருக்காங்க. அடுத்து வந்து அந்த இடத்துல வந்து சிட்டி லெவலில் செலக்ட் ஆகிறவங்க ரீஜனல் லெவலில் போவாங்க. அதாவது தமிழ்நாடு ரீஜனில் நடக்கும். அதே மாதிரி அக்ராஸ் உங்களுக்கு வந்து வெஸ்ட்டில், நார்த் ஈஸ்ட்டில் இந்த மாதிரி 5 ரீஜன்ஸில் வந்து நடக்கும். அந்த 5 ரீஜன்ஸில் ஃபைனலாக செலக்ட் ஆகிறவங்க எல்லாருமே என்ன ஆவாங்க அப்படின்னா டெல்லியில் வந்து ஃபைனல்ஸ்க்கு போவாங்க. டெல்லியில் நடக்கிற ஃபைனல்ஸ்க்கு செலக்ட் ஆகிற ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ் எல்லாத்துக்குமே பார்லிமெண்ட்டுக்கு போகிறதுக்குரிய வாய்ப்பு வந்து யங் இந்தியன்ஸ் ஏற்படுத்தி தரும். ஸோ அவங்களுக்கு நிஜமான பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் என்ன நடக்குது, எம்பிஸ்லாம் எப்படி வந்து பேசுகிறாங்க, பில்ஸ் பாஸ் பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படிங்கிறத லைவாக பார்க்கக்கூடிய ஒரு வாய்ப்பு கிடைக்கும். ஸோ இந்த சான்ஸை வந்து எல்லா ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸும் யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருந்தால் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஆட்சியாளராகவோ ஒரு பொறுப்பில் நாளைக்கு வராங்கன்னா முன்னாடியே ட்ரெயின் ஆகி அந்த இடத்துல வர்றதுக்குரிய நல்ல வாய்ப்பாக இருக்கும். யங் இந்தியன்ஸ் வந்து சிஐஐயோட அந்த இடத்துல யூத் விங். சிஐஐ வந்து கான்ஃபெடரேஷன் ஆஃப் இந்தியன் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ், அது வந்து ஒரு சென்ட்ரல் பாடி. அதோட யூத் விங் தான் யங் இந்தியன்ஸ். இது அக்ராஸ் 72 சிட்டிஸில் வந்து இன்றைக்கி ஃபங்க்ஷன் ஆகிக்கிட்டு இருக்குது எஃபெக்டிவாக. இந்த தளிர் ப்ரோக்ராமில் வந்து நாங்கள் ஃபோக்கஸ் பண்ணுறது ஃபுல்லாக ஸ்கூல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ். இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் வந்து 2 நாளும் நடக்கிறது உங்களுக்கு கம்ப்ளீட்டாக வந்து ஸ்கூல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ்க்கு மட்டுமே. ஸோ இதில் வந்து ஸ்கூல் ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸே அவங்க பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர், கேபினெட் மினிஸ்டர், லீடர் ஆஃப் அப்போசிஷன், கமிட்டி பில்ஸ் பாஸ் பண்ணுறது, ஓட் பண்ணுறது, இந்த மாதிரி எல்லா விஷயங்களையும் தேர்ந்தெடுத்து அந்த இடத்துல அவங்களே செய்வாங்க. ஒரு கம்ப்ளீட் டெமோக்ரஸி எப்படி ஒர்க் ஆகுதுங்கிறத எண்ட் டு எண்ட் அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் பண்ணிக்குவாங்க. நன்றி.
Let's welcome the chief guest, Mr. A. Kallani, MLA Madurai North, with guest of honor Ms. Visalakshi, Director of VTM Limited and Tyagaraja Films. Let's hear the sound from the left. Let's hear the sound. It has to be distinguished dignitaries and my dear YIT. I am Geetika, your Taluk co-chair and lead facilitator for this momentous occasion. This hall today will be transformed into an epicenter of youth leadership. We have gathered the brightest mind across Madurai and split across various constituencies, and over the next 2 years you will debate, deliberate and decide. But a parliament cannot begin in silence. So let us show that we are ready to start with YIP 2026. So I would all require you to show that you are welcome all of you to Young Indians Parliament 2026. Now I request all of you to stand up for Tamil Thai Valthu. Please put your hands together for our chapter chair, Mr. Vikram.
Good morning, parliamentarians. A little bit more energy, please. I saw much more energy down when you guys were registering. One more time. Good morning, guys. MLA, Madurai North constituency, and I also take this as a privilege to welcome Ms. Visalakshi. We are glad to have you both here with us today. Before I get into my welcome address and set the context right, I would just like to ask one question here. Is there anyone here, now that you are here as a parliamentarians, is there anyone here who really wants to get into politics? Can I see hands, few hands at least? Anyone here who really wants to get into politics? Okay. Right. Okay, kudos to you girls and guys, because I think we are in a very interesting times at this point of time in Tamil Nadu. We have a party that has never been in power before, even as an opposition party, and now they are into power, and they are given a hope for the youngsters that anyone can become a MLA and become a minister. As we are all expecting the government to achieve much more in the coming 5 years, and I think this is a very good beginning for them to give this hope to the youngsters that you all can become a politician and you all can contribute to the nation through politics and government. And with that said, a little about Young Indians, and this time, because we've been doing a lot in Young Indians, as a parliament has been making and contributing towards nation building. I'd like to point out few things that we have been doing, a few of which is we have been doing pond restoration so far. We have completed 3 pond restorations in Madurai, each 1 acre of each. And we have also planted 2,000 plus saplings so far.
Entrepreneur, scientist, everyone will say, but not even a single guy or a girl will say that I like to become a politician. So it is completely out of track for students like you previously, but not now. So now Vikrant, your chairman asked a question about how many of you want to become a politician, or how many of you want to enter the assembly or a parliament, and I saw a few hands raising. 5 years ago, you cannot see such, not even a single kid will be interested in enter into politics. So the entire system is changed. So we as Young Indian sculpturing you to become a better leaders. Okay, hope you got my point. And one more thing, so out of 71 chapters across India, this YB is being conducted in more than 60 cities. So 12.
And a good morning to all the dignitaries, principals, teachers, and most importantly, the young leaders from various schools that are gathered here today. I was very happy to know that this gathering here today for this year's student, 180 of you here in Madurai. There's 180 of you registered here in Madurai. You are only second to the 200 students that registered in Jaipur, is what the team told me. So I was very, very happy to know that we are the second largest group here in Madurai, and next year I would like this to be the biggest representation for student parliament. It's really an honor to stand here before all of you. See, today is the beginning of a conversation, and it is the blossoming of leadership. Today is the beginning of learning for all of you how to disagree with respect, and also how to listen with humility, and how to lead with courage. This is the crux of democracy. I lived in the US for 20 odd years, a little more than 20 years. I'm from Madurai. I moved back to Madurai about 2 years ago. So here are some of the main reasons. I like data, so I'm going to give you some data. So these are the 3 reasons why I feel that India is really booming and all the opportunity is here. So let me ask you this.
சாருக்கு பர்த்டே விஷஸும் சொல்லிக்கிறேன் இதை ஒரு வாய்ப்பை பயன்படுத்தி. இந்த ப்ரோக்ராம் என்னன்னு கூட எனக்கு தெரியாது. ஒரு 11 சேர்மன் என்னை இன்வைட் பண்ணார். ஸோ பட் அவங்க இன்வைட் பண்ண ஒரு அடுத்த நிமிஷம் நான் வரேன். ஏன்னா என்னை ரீச் பண்ணுறதுக்கு ஒரு 1 வீக் ட்ரை பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. இங்கே வந்து பார்த்தோன்னே ஃபஸ்ட்டு நான் இம்ப்ரெஸ் ஆனது உள்ளே என்ட்ராகினப்போ நீங்கள் பெஞ்சை தட்டினீங்க பாருங்கள். ஸோ இட்ஸ் ஏ ரியலி கிரேட். எந்த லெவலுக்கு நீங்கள் இன்வால்மெண்ட்டாக இருக்கீங்கன்றதை அதை காமிச்சது. நான் சட்டசபைக்கு போகிறப்ப கூட எல்லோரும் நாங்கள் கை தான் தட்டினோம், பட் அங்கே தட்டக்கூடாது அப்படின்றத எங்களுக்கு அவர் கேஎஸ் சொன்னார். ஸோ அந்த லெவலுக்கு உங்களை ட்ரெயின் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. ரியலி குட், ஆல் தி பெஸ்ட். இப்போ ஒரு சார் பேசினாங்க இல்லையா, ஒரு பிஃபோர் 5 இயர்ஸ் நம்ம என்ன ஆகணும்னு நினைக்கிறோம் அப்படின்றப்ப எல்லோரும் ஒன்று சொல்லுவோம். இன்றைக்கி இந்த பொலிட்டிக்கில் ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் வந்திருக்கு. எல்லாம் நம்ம விவேகானந்தராக இருக்கட்டும், அப்துல் கலாமியாக இருக்கட்டும், எல்லாருமே இளைஞர்கள்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்களுக்கு தான் அந்த இம்பார்ட்டன்ட் கொடுக்கணும், இளைஞர்களை கொடுங்க அந்த நாட்டை மாற்றுறோன்னு சொல்லிட்டு. அதே மாதிரி இன்றைக்கி ஒரு யூத் பாலிடிக்ஸ், ஒரு இளைஞர்களுக்கு ஒரு நம்பிக்கை வந்திருக்கு அரசியல் மேலே. இங்கே இருக்கிறவங்க இல்லை, பொதுவாகவே நாங்கள் வெளியே போகிறப்ப கூட ஒரு 10 வயசு பையனாக கூட ஹாய் பாய் சொன்னாங்கலாம் இப்போ வணக்கம் சொல்ல ஆரம்பிச்சிட்டான். ஸோ அதுவே ஒரு சேஞ்சை பார்க்குறோம். நீங்கள் நியூஸ் பார்க்குறவங்க எல்லாமே வந்துட்டு சட்டசபையை பார்க்க ஆரம்பிக்கிறாங்க. ஸோ நிறைய அரசியலில் இளைஞர்களுக்கு ஆர்வம் இருக்குது. நம்ம ஒரு ஐஏஎஸ், ஐபிஎஸ், டாக்டர், இன்ஜினியர் அப்படின்ற நம்ம அந்த ப்ரொஃபஷனலாக சொல்கிற வார்த்தைகள் எல்லாமே இந்த சமுதாயத்துக்கு எதோ பண்ண. ஏன்னா ஏர்ன் பண்ணுறதுக்கு நிறைய வழிகள் இருக்குது. நம்ம ஒரு பிஸ்னஸ் பீப்புள் ஆகிடலாம், ஏதோ ஒன்று நம்ம ஒரு தொழில் பண்ணி நம்ம சம்பாதிக்க முடியும். ஆனால் அந்த மாதிரி ப்ரொஃபஷனலாக நம்ம போகணும்னு இப்போ நீங்கள்லாம் சில பேர் சொன்னீங்க, இப்போது சார் எல்லாம் முன்னாடி சொன்ன மாதிரி. அப்படி இருக்கும் பட்சத்தில் இந்த மாதிரி ப்ரொஃபஷனல் எல்லாமே நம்ம சமுதாயத்துக்கு ஏதோ ஒன்று பண்ணணும் அப்படின்றதுக்காக மட்டும்தான் அதை நம்ம சூஸ் பண்ணுவோம். ஸோ அதை விட முக்கியம் அது வந்து ஒன்லி ஃபார் அஃபிஷியலில் இருக்கும். அதை விட முக்கியம் இப்போ நீங்கள் நம்ம எடுக்கிற அரசியல் மொழி அப்படின்னு சொல்லுது. ஸோ அரசியல் என்பது தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் நம்மளோட சேர்ந்தது, நம்மளோட வாழ்வோட சார்ந்தது. அதை இப்போ உள்ள இளைஞர்கள் மற்றும் பெரியவங்க எல்லோருமே அதை புரிய ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. ஏன்னா நமக்கான அரசியலை நம்ம தீர்மானிக்க வேண்டும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. ஸோ மேம் சொன்னாங்க, இங்கே இன் ஃபியூச்சரில் ஒரு பிஎம் கூட வரலாம், நிச்சயமாக வாய்ப்புகள் இருக்குது. ஸோ எதிர்காலம் இளைஞர்கள் கை அப்படின்னு எல்லாருமே சொன்னதை இன்றைக்கி அதை ப்ரூவ் பண்ணுறோம். இன்றைக்கி நம்மளோட அதான் எந்த ப்ரிப்பரேஷன் இல்லை. அதுக்காக நான் என்னென்னா, இப்போது சட்டசபையில் நாங்கள் போகிறப்போ எங்களுக்கே எல்லாமே புதுசு தான். உங்களை மாதிரி ஒரு ஸ்கூலில் படித்து காலேஜ் போய்ட்டு விஜயண்ணான்னு ஒரு ஃபீல் பண்ணி ரசித்து போனோம். பாலிடிக்ஸ்ன்றது எங்களுக்கே புதுசு தான். பட் நம்மளோட நோக்கம் என்னவாக இருந்ததுன்னா சேவை மட்டும்தான், மக்களுக்கு ஏதாவது ஒன்று பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு அப்படி வந்தவர் தான் விஜயண்ணனுமே சொல்லி. அவரோட பிரதர்ஸ் அண்ட் சிஸ்டர்ஸாக இன்றைக்கி பார்லிமெண்ட் நிறைய பேர் சட்டசபையில் நிறைய பேர் இருக்கும். ஸோ எல்லாருமே மக்களுக்காக தான் இருக்கும் அப்படின்னு ஒரு நம்பிக்கை இருக்குது. இங்கே நிறைய நல்லா அந்த ட்ரெஸ் கோடு எல்லாமே பார்க்குறப்ப ரொம்ப அழகாக இருந்தது. ஸோ அந்த லெவலுக்கு ரொம்ப ப்ரிப்பேராக இருக்கீங்க. இன் ஃபியூச்சர் அரசியல்வாதியாகங்க நீங்கள் முன்னாடிலாம் சொல்ல மாட்டாங்க. பட் இப்போ அரசியல் அப்படின்றது நம்ம தனிப்பட்டது கிடையாது. அஃபிஷியல்னால் நீங்கள் ஆர்டர் போடுறத பண்ண முடியும், உங்களோட ஐடியாலஜியை சொல்ல முடியும். பட் அதுக்கு மேலே ஒருத்தர் எம்பி ஆர் எம்எல்ஏ ஆர் சீஃப் மினிஸ்டர் ஆர் பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் யாரோ ஒருத்தவங்க இந்த நாட்டை பற்றி இந்த மக்களை பற்றி யோசித்து அவங்க சொல்ல இன்ஸ்ட்ரக்ஷனை ஃபாலோ பண்ணுற சுச்சுவேஷன் நம்ம இருப்போம். இந்த அரசை வழி நடத்தவும் சரி, ஆட்சியை வழி நடத்தவும் அதிகாரிகளுக்கு எந்த அளவுக்கு முக்கியத்துவம் இருக்கோ அதே மாதிரி அரசியல்வாதிகள் இருக்குது. ஸோ அரசியல்வாதிகள் தங்களோட எண்ணங்களை
parliamentarian style. Thank you everyone. So we have our last year's event chair, Mr. Deepak here. Mr. Deepak, yes. Big round of applause. Thank you Deepak ma'am for standing behind us and enjoying the WhatsApp conversations. Thank you. And dear parliamentarians, I think this 1 week you would have loved it. அதுக்கேற்ற மாதிரி நம்ம தமிழ்நாடு சட்டசபையிலையும் நிறைய இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங்கான செக்மெண்ட்ஸ்லாம் எவ்வளோ பேர் இன்ஸ்டாகிராம் ஃபுல் வைப்பில் இருந்திருப்பீங்க. ஸோ த ஸ்பீக்கர், எஸ், நவ் வி ஹவ் கம் டு த ஸ்பீக்கர். அதுக்கு முன்னாடி வி ஹேவ் பிரபு. அஃப்கோர்ஸ் ரெண்டு பேர்த்தையும் தான் நீங்கள் நிறைய இன்ட்ராக்ட் பண்ணியிருப்பீங்க. மைசெல்ஃப் விஷ்ணு அண்ட் பிரபு இஸ் ஹியர். எஸ் பிரபு.
So good morning parliamentarians. I know there has been a lot of good mornings today. I'll keep it short and simple. All the very best to all of you for being here. So I've seen that you guys have been putting up a lot of tremendous work and late nights along with your studies as well. So hope you get the best of the experience from today. And as the chief guest and the chairpersons were mentioning, we are expecting people to move on to the regional level and to the national level as well from here. So all the very best and thank you, and we'll be here with you guys traveling for both the days together.
Thank you Prabhu.
You'll all be voting for your respective speaker candidates, and there will be one speaker and two deputy speakers who will be nominated based on the votes. So please vote. Keep in mind that these speakers and the deputy speakers are going to lead you for the entire 2 days. It's not going to be us, it's going to be the speaker nominees that you select. So please be very, very careful and wary of what you're going to choose.
Yeah, I think from this part of thing, we'll just back ourselves and they will be leading the team, and make sure your voting is very important and you make a vital choice. Is that clear? And Prabhu, is the tool ready to vote for them?
Yeah, once the
scenario is done, I think we'll go with the scenario straight into it. Guys, can we have, how are you going to be? You're going to sell your scenario by yourself? Should I tell? You want me to tell? Okay, I think okay, I won't tell the names. I'll just tell the scenario now. Okay? Okay, we have the first scenario. A member interrupts a speech claiming the speaker is discussing something unrelated to the motion. Whose question is this? Yes, come forward. Yeah. Guys, your vote, she's going to tell. The question is, how will you decide whether the point of order is valid?
Honorable members of the Legislative Assembly, when a member raises a point of order, claiming a speaker has differed from a motion, they invoke a fundamental rule. Reverence, as your speaker, my job is not to censor debate, but to safeguard this House's time. To decide if the point of order is valid, I will apply a strict impartial test. First, direct nexus. Does the speech share a logical connection with the motion? Members deserve latitude to build an argument, but that latitude is not infinite. Second, context. Is the member responding to an argument previously raised on this floor? If so, the fairness demands to be allowed to rebut it. Finally, intent. A point of order must hold our rules, not serve as a tactical manner to dispute a disagreement in persistence. I'll rule the point valid and pull the debate back to track.
Thank you. Your time is up. We have given 1 minute and your name and constitution alone to the betterment of the parliamentarians to vote.
I am Inia, representing the vibrant constituency of Dubri. Thank you.
Thank you. So, your systems are logged in and your voting will be having, and we'll hear from the next speaker by introducing yourself and your party name, okay? And the next scenario is, two members start shouting at each other during a debate and refuses to stop despite warnings. Whose question is this? Yes, come forward. And the question is, parliamentarians, please make a note. As Speaker, what action will you take?
Good morning, respected members of the Parliament. So, the situation given to me is a heated argument between two members shouting at each other despite warnings. So, the first, they will be getting a light warning, and next, a strict warning will be given to them to resume to their seats and settle back in their seats. And if the argument continues, next, I'll ask the respected party leaders of the corresponding parties to take care and control the members involved in the argument. And if still the argument continues, I'll halt the proceedings of the members and adjourn the house for few hours to make them cool. Next, I'll order to remove the unparliamentary words spoken during the argument from the official records of the legislature. Hope you like my way of handling the situation. Thank you and vote for me.
Thank you. That was very impressive. And your name, party name, and your serial number.
Benita Evangeline from the constituency Vadodara, and my serial number 5287.
Thank you, Ania. Yes. So we'll move with the next scenario. 5 members are still waiting to speak, but only 10 minutes remaining before the session ends. Whose question is this? Yes, come forward. Your name, your party name, and your serial number. The question.
Having closed only 64% of the gap, we promise equality in the rights of the LGBTQ community as Thailand. A nation isn't measured by the size of its GDP. It is measured by the quality of life of its people. If I were to stand here and list every single problem this country faces, we would be here for the rest of the year just scratching the surface. Instead of solving these problems, the government uses selective statistics to pat itself on the back. The only thing those stats do is secure the votes they need. India doesn't need marketers, it needs governors. This country needs a change, and we the opposition...
Time is over. Speaker, respected member of the Parliament, I am delegate number 5279, representing the constituency of Raipur. Raipur is the capital of Chhattisgarh, which have more potential and well known for its educational institution, its administration and steel industry, rice production, etc. It actually contributes more for the state's economy, but still it faces lot of challenges like corruption, irregularity in public projects have affected the people's trust. Many road and drainage systems are remained incomplete and poorly maintained. Traffic is also rising, but the road facility is not maintained properly, and also many people are still suffering for a qualified employment opportunity. To address this issue, I address the government to strengthen the transparency in public spending, improve the roads and drainage infrastructure, and also to create more skill development and employment programs for youth and for better future. Raipur talent resource potential to become a modern city to the entire nation with proper planning, honest governance.
Honorable Speaker, can I start? Yeah, you may. Honorable Speaker, respected member of the House, I am delegate number 5271, representing the constituency of Brahmapur, Odisha. Brahmapur, popularly known as the Silk City of Odisha, is one of the state's most important commercial and educational hubs. It is renowned for its silk and handloom industry, fisheries, vibrant culture, and serves as the gateway to southern Odisha. Its strategic location and entrepreneurial spirit make it a key contributor to Odisha's economy. Despite its strengths, Brahmapur faces several challenges. Educated youth continue to migrate due to limited local employment opportunities. The city also struggles with inadequate drainage, waterlogging during the monsoon, traffic congestion, and etc.
Jodhpur, located in western Rajasthan, is known as the Blue City and is famous for its rich heritage, tourism, handicrafts and industries. Landmarks such as the Mehranga Fort attract visitors from across the world and contribute significantly to the local economy. However, Jodhpur faces several challenges. Water scarcity remains a major issue due to its arid climate. Many rural areas struggle with limited access to quality healthcare and employment opportunities. Farmers are affected by unpredictable rainfall, while young people often migrate to larger cities in search of jobs. To address these challenges, our constituency requires greater government support through improved water conservation projects, better healthcare facilities, skill development centers, and investment in local industries. Expanding irrigation systems and promoting sustainable employment opportunities will improve the quality of life for our citizens. I urge this House to support the development of Jodhpur so that its people can achieve greater prosperity and a better future. Together, we can transform challenges into opportunities. Thank you.
But every farmer strengthened and every job created brings the region closer to a brighter future. Let investment flow into a Gaya that is not only remembered for its glorious past, but recognized for its progress, opportunity and promise. Thank you.
Delegate number 5359 from the constituents of Malapuram is recognized. Malapuram, sorry.
Malappuram is known for its hard-working people, strong educational values and rich cultural heritage. However, despite its potential, many families continue to face serious challenges. A large number of our youth are forced to leave their homes. 30,000 people from Malappuram had to stay in relief camps, highlighting the need for stronger flood management. The people of Malappuram do not seek dependence. I repeat, the people of Malappuram do not seek dependence. They seek opportunity, better employment, strong infrastructure, and sustainable flood management measures. The future does not belong to those who wait. It belongs to those who act. Let us act today. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Damaged roads make it difficult for students to reach schools, patients to access hospitals, and farmers to transport their produce. To address these issues, I propose a 250 crore hill development and rural resilience package. 150 crore will improve rural roads, 70 crore will strengthen wildlife prevention through solar fencing, early warning systems, and faster compensation.
Resilient people and breathtaking landscapes. Yet, behind its beauty lie challenges that deserve this house attention. The first is connectivity. Many villages still face poor road infrastructure and limited digital access, making education, healthcare, and economic opportunities harder to reach. Investment in all-weather roads and reliable internet connectivity must become a priority. The second challenge is unemployment. Many young people in Nagaland possess talent and ambition but are forced to leave their home state in search of opportunities. By promoting entrepreneurship, improving skill development programs, and supporting local industries.
Are we allowed to ask POIs to any of the speeches that we find mistakes in accuracies?
Yes, you may, but only. I now invite the Honorable Member of Delegate number 5297 from Solapur to address the House.
Honorable Speaker, respected members of the House, I am Delegate number 5297 representing the constituency of Solapur. Solapur, located in the southeastern part of Maharashtra, is a historically and economically significant constituency. It is known for its textile industry, especially the famous Solapur chaddas and towels, as well as its agricultural activities including sugarcane and oilseed production. The city is also home to important landmarks like Siddheshwar Temple and holds great cultural importance through its traditions, festivals and diverse communities. Despite its potential, Solapur faces several challenges. Water scarcity is one of the most serious concerns due to irregular rainfall and increasing demand. Farmers often struggle with serious concerns due to irregular rainfall and increasing demand. Farmers often struggle with irrigation facilities affecting agricultural productivity and income. The constituency also faces challenges related to employment opportunities, industrial growth, healthcare facilities, and infrastructure development. These issues impact the daily lives of citizens, especially farmers, workers, and young people seeking better opportunities. To address these challenges, Solapur requires improved irrigation projects, better water management systems, and increased investment in industries and skill development programs. Strengthening healthcare facilities, upgrading roads and public infrastructure, and supporting local businesses will create employment
has elapsed.
and improve the quality of life for citizens.
The speaker now recognizes the honorable member from the constituency of Belgavi.
Honorable Speaker, respected members of this august house, I am delegate number 5328, proudly representing the historic constituency of Belgavi, Karnataka. Belgavi is not just a border district, it's a symbol of unity, heritage and progress. From the legacy of Ratha dynasty and the iconic Belgavi fort to being Karnataka's gateway to Maharashtra and Goa, it represents $1 billion. It contributes around 5.3% of Karnataka's GSDP and stands as the state's second largest exporting district. With 48% of its land under cultivation, 24 factories and under 200 foundries, Belgavi strengthens both agriculture and industry. Yet, behind all these achievements, our farmers are still seeking water security. Therefore, this house must prioritize irrigation, connectivity, industrial growth and skill development. Because a constituency that gives so much to a nation deserves a future that matches its contribution. So I ask this house one question. If Belgavi has carried the responsibility...
Now let's move on to the next minister. I now call upon the Honorable Minister representing the delegate number 5302.
Honorable parliamentarians and esteemed speaker, I am delegate 5302 representing the constituency of Morbi, a vibrant city located in the Kathiawar Peninsula in the state of Gujarat. The city blends a rich royal history with an incredibly powerful modern industrial presence. It is globally famous for the massive industrial powerhouse it is proudly named Ceramics Capital of India. It produces up to 90% of India's ceramic products and it provides employment for 5 lakh employees both directly and indirectly. Now speaking of the economic and political status of Morbi, industrial fuel costs.
Honorable Speaker, respected members of the House, I am delegate number 5231 representing the constituency of Parliament. We all know Parliament from our history books as a place of war. But today, it is a massive industrial powerhouse. It's a textile city, built on pure grit and hard work. The same unstoppable hustle that built Panipad's massive factories is the spirit that we now must use to fix it. But let's be honest, the rapid growth has come with a heavy cost. If you visit today, you can see the toll. Choking air, toxic waste dumping. The city is facing a massive crisis with industrial pollution. It's a tough reality, but a reality we have to face. We just don't have to accept the pollution. Here's how we turn this around. First, fund affordable shared water filters for small factory owners to protect groundwater. Second, mobilize youth groups to plant fast-growing urban forests near industrial areas. Third, connect local students directly with industrial experts for hands-on high-tech training. Panipat has changed the course of history for 3 times. Let's make this the 4th time. Except, now it won't be because of a war, but because we choose to build a smarter, cleaner and brighter future. Thank you.
Honorable Chair, respected parliamentarians, I am proud to represent Akola, a city in Maharashtra's Vidarbha region known as the Cotton City. Akola is home to hard-working farmers whose efforts help feed and support our nation. Our city is also known for its cotton, soybean production and growing educational opportunities. But behind these achievements are real struggles. Many farmers face uncertain rainfall, water shortages, and unstable crop prices. Young people often leave in search of better job opportunities, and some areas still need improved healthcare and infrastructure. Despite these challenges, the people of Akola remain resilient. They continue to work hard, support one another, and hope for a brighter future ahead. As their representative, I believe our responsibility is not only to recognize their struggles, but to create opportunity that allow them to thrive forever. Akola is more than a city on a map. It is a community of determined people. With right support and development, we can build a stronger and more prosperous future for everyone, for India and for Akola. Thank you.
Srinagar. Srinagar, the crown jewel of Jammu and Kashmir, is not just a city but the heart of northern frontier. Situated on the banks of Jhelum River, it is known for its breathtaking tourism, intricate handicrafts like the Pashmina shawls, and our vibrant architecture, especially our world-class apple orchards. However, Srinagar faces several obstacles. Tourism volatility causes a 20% revenue drop in winter. Moreover, 40% of our apple harvest remains wasted due to the lack of cold storage. Most critically, our youth unemployment rate is 15% higher than the national average, stifling our digital first potential. We demand targeted intervention, and the government should increase funding for cold storage in order to store our harvest. And we need aggressive investment in IT industry to bridge the 15% unemployment gap. Srinagar is already ready to contribute to the national progress. All we need is the government need to include targeted intervention to our constituency.
Your voice. You can take it as a reference but not reading it. Yes.
Point of personal privilege.
Point of personal privilege.
1 minute, please.
Sir, in 90 second speech, the point of order is not allowed, but the point of order was given now. How it's unfair?
Point of parliament inquiry.
Point of parliament inquiries.
If that is the case, how can a speaker not be authoritative?
Personal privilege, is it according to your personal privileges or else information?
May I be excused for a minute? Point of personal privilege.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you so much.
All points are overruled, no more points.
Honorable Speaker, respected members of the House, my delegate number 5262, and I am representing the Constitution of Bardhaman, West Bengal. Today, I would like to draw attention to Bardhaman, one of the most important regions of West Bengal, known as the Rice Bowl of Bengal. Bardhaman has played a major role in ensuring food security through its rich agricultural production. It is also home to industries, educational institutions, and it is a proud cultural heritage. Despite its agricultural heritage, farmers in Bardhaman are facing serious challenges. One of the most biggest is the rising cost of farming. Prices of fertilizers, seeds, and fuel have increased, making the cultivation expensive. At the same time, farmers do not have received fair prices for their crops. Unpredictable weather caused by climate change also damage harvest and reduce income. Because of this, many young people are leaving farming. This threatens the future of food production in the region. To address these issues, we must provide better irrigation facilities, ensure fair minimum support prices, improve crop insurance schemes, and promote modern farming techniques. Training programs and financial assistance can also...
Honorable Speaker and the chairpersons in this House, I rise today to speak about my constitution, Bellary. It is a district in the Karnataka, rich in minerals and agriculture and industries. Yet, it is the despite wealth and many families but struggle for their basic needs in my constitution. The biggest challenge is in my constitution. In every summer, people face the water scarcity for drinking water, and also the farmers also suffer for their crop losses. For this, we want to solution to launch the mission of Save Water with the rainwater harvesting and the lake restoration and treated wastewater rescues. And another major problem is pollution caused by mining and vehicles. Ballari is rich in minerals in mining. The mining dust, the mining pollution is healthcare for every citizens in Ballari. It affects us the citizens. So for take this solution is to plant more trees, and also we want to launch a mission, Greenwood mission, for plant every side trees, and also for vehicles we use EV vehicles and CNG bus.
You are recognized.
Honorable Speaker, a voting was not conducted to extend for 40 minutes. A voting.
The motion passes. Time is accepted. Let's continue a 90-second speech. Delegate number 5299 is recognized.
Thank you for. Today as the MP of the Constitution of Jamnagar, carrying the voices of my people who have entrusted me here. Most of us have cheered for our favorite team in the Ranji Trophy, but less than us have known that the Ranji Trophy has been named after Maharaja Rani Sindri of Navanagar, currently called as the Jamnagar. The spirit of excellence still defines my constituency. Located on the coast of Gujarat, Jamnagar is a city where heritage meets industry. It is the home of the world's largest oil refining complex, India's first marine national park, and the thriving brass industry that provides livelihoods to thousands. But with the growth comes responsibility. As industries expand, so do the challenges faced by our people. Called as the brass city of India, it is these industries which pollute environment, putting pressure on both public health and our fragile marine ecosystem. Being a coastal city, flooding and climate-related risk, water scarcity and salinity continue to threaten our drinking water and agriculture. Despite the processed challenges, Jamnagar is not asking for special treatment. It is asking for sustainable solution. We need stronger pollution control measures, better water management, protection of a coastal ecosystem, and our support to diversify industry and create new opportunities for our youth. Thank you for providing me the opportunity.
Wonderful. You came here for the leader of opposition LOP speech, right?
Yes.
You will be recognized again.
Thank you.
Yes.
Honorable speakers, respected number 5315 representing the constituency of Tezpur. Tezpur is a city in Sonitpur district in Assam. Tezpur has been facing several major issues including annual flooding and riverbank erosion caused by the Brahmaputra and their tributaries, unregulated urban expansion and rising criminal activities such as robberies that threaten public safety. To curb these issues, Tezpur has implemented solutions situated in northern Odisha. It is a land where heritage breathes through the Jagannath temple, Panjalingeshwar temple and the shores of Dagara beach. It is an agricultural heartland, a cultural beacon and the proud home of Chandipur's integrated test range where our nation strengthens its defense through missile launch testing. But yet, even behind the most postcard-worthy sunrise is a reality that people cannot ignore.
Number 5314 representing the constituency of Silchar. Silchar is located in southern Assam along the Barath River. It serves as a gateway and the economic heart of Barath Valley. With a population over 2.2 lakh people in just the city area, it plays a crucial role in education, trade, healthcare and regional connectivity. To building Miraj and Tejas today, from worshipping Moon and Mars to landing on Moon and Mars through Chandrayaan and Mangalyaan, we come a long way as in civilization. But after all these achievements, are we still not facing the problem of crime against women, social injustice, poverty, low literacy rate? And the solution to this is not 100 different policies. It is one powerful tool, education. Education is something that cannot be stolen, cannot be taxed. The more you spend, the more it creates, the more you share, the more it expands. In my constituency, Roorkela, Odisha, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, urban unemployment exceeds 13.4% and over 12,000 workers remain trapped in contractual jobs. When a 60:1 applicant ratio forces graduates in low-skilled work and 80% of formal employment depends in steel industry. A country's richest resource is not its land or its wealth. It is its people, and the best way to invest on our people is through education. Thank you.
Patna, the capital and largest city of Bihar, India, is one of the world's oldest continuously inhabited places. Historically known as Pataliputra, it was once the magnificent center of the Mauryan and Gupta empires. Today, it serves as a major administrative, educational and cultural hub along the Ganga River. Patna majorly struggles with rapid urbanization. Some key challenges include severe air and water pollution, chronic monsoon waterlogging, heavy traffic congestion and urban poverty. The financial toll on households has increased by approximately 75 to 80% in the past decade due to various issues like medical expenses because of the pollution, property damage due to flooding and so much more. These issues significantly impact residents' daily health, public safety and overall quality of life. What Patna really needs right now is some support from the government when it comes to modernizing flood management, reducing pollution and traffic control. There are lots of problems that need to be fixed in Patna, but I'm sure that with enough help, it can become a model constituency. Thank you.
Has 6 lakh people dependent on fisheries, but only 1.29 lakh families have received compensation. Rigid rules exclude many deserving families, and Machilipatnam proposes to ease restrictive eligibility criteria like electricity limits and vehicle ownership. Second, to replace fingerprint verification with IRS scanning as manual labor makes fingerprints unreliable. Third, extend compensation to women fish vendors where occupation certificates will be verified by the fishermen's unions. Fourth, introduce marine smart cards for traditional fishermen to digitally record sea travels and cash history for transparent welfare support. On pollution, create a special enforcement team with AP Pollution Control Board to penalize illegal toxic dumping. 6. Make zero liquid discharge mandatory for upstream industries to protect coastal economies. Sustainable fisheries need both environmental protection and economic justice. I urge this government to adopt these measures and stand with our fishing communities. Let us protect our oceans and the people who depend on them. Thank you.
Straying away from the motion that we have made and is already
according to the agenda. Now the points are closed. Let's continue with the agenda.
Thank you.
Delegate number 536 will be recognized. The floor is yours.
Speaker and delegates, today I stand before this house to echo the aspirations and struggles of my constituency, that is Ongole constituency.
And is proudly known as the sports city of India because of its strong sports goods industry. Along with agricultural and small scale industries, Meerut contributes significantly to the economy and it reflects a rich cultural heritage. However, despite its strengths, Meerut faces several serious challenges. Youth unemployment remains a major concern, affecting the future of many young people. Traffic congestion and poor road conditions make daily travel difficult. Weak drainage and sanitation systems create inconvenience and health concerns. Farmers in surrounding areas also face financial uncertainty and inadequate support. These issues affect people's lives and slow the constituency's progress. To address these challenges, the government must strengthen employment schemes and establish skill development centers for youth. More investment is needed in roads, sanitation and infrastructure. Better support for industries and farmers will improve productivity and create more opportunities. Meerut once gave India the spark of freedom. Today, it deserves the strength of development. I urge this house to support the progress of Meerut and build a stronger future for its people. Thank you. Jai Hind.
And nearly 600 million Indians live under high to extreme water stress. In Indore, 75 out of 85 municipal wards have reported acute water shortages. Although the city's daily water requirements is nearly 900 million liters. Only 300 to 320 million liters are supplied, with audits showing that up to 65% of treated water is lost due to leakages. Therefore, I seek the support of this house for the Smart Water Security Mission, AI-powered digital water twins to detect leaks, a national water wallet to encourage conservation, blue-green reservoir parks to recharge groundwater, and net zero water campuses to recycle wastewater. Honorable Speaker, wastewater scarcity threatens public health, economic growth, and social equity. Let us act now to secure water for every citizen. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Home to the Gwalior Fort, a citadel that Emperor Babur himself remarked the pearl among fortresses, a hub of classical arts and music, birthplace of Drupal tradition. Being planted in the agro sector, it also is growing in the industrial sector, although on uprooting this tree of heritage, as painful as it is to say, we find a suffering city. A citizen says, there's this constant heaviness whenever you step out. It's like the city drains you.
Of this house, I am delegate number 5247 representing the constituency of Bhagalpur. I stand here today not just a representative, but the voice of the people of Bhagalpur, a city where thread of silk tells a story of talent, tradition and the dreams of thousands of families. But today, the story faces obstacles. Artisans struggle, youth search for opportunities, and our growing city demands better infrastructure. A constituency with such history cannot be left behind in the race of development. We do not need promises written on a paper. We need action on the ground. I repeat, we do not need promises written on a paper. We need action on the ground. We need investment in the silk industry, modern roads, cleaner cities, better healthcare and skill-based opportunities so that our youth can build a better future. The strength of Bhagalpur is not just in its past, but in the people who continue to build the future. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
Meaning the duty of a good government is to create wealth, protect it, preserve it and distribute it fairly. Spanning 8,436 square kilometers and home to over 16.6 lakh people, nearly 80% of whom live in rural areas, Chitradurga depends heavily on agriculture. The historic Chitradurga fort stands as a symbol of resilience, while wind energy and tourism reflect the district's immense potential. Yet today, that potential is being tested. Recurring droughts and acute water scarcity have pushed agriculture into crisis. In villages like Tiruvanur, crops have withered shortly after germination. In Santanahalli of Holagare Taluk, crumbling school buildings continue to put children's lives at risk while inadequate healthcare and seasonal employment force families into hardship and migration. The House must act with urgency. Fast-track the Upper Bangla project to strengthen irrigation, promote drought-resistant crops, and rebuild the unsafe schools, strengthen primary healthcare centers with mobile medical units, and guarantee employment opportunities alongside safe drinking water for every village. Honorable Speaker, Chitradurga represents resilience, but resilience without support is mere endurance. With focused investment, this region can become a model of sustainable rural development. The question is not whether Chitradurga will rise, but whether we will act in time. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
மாண்புமிகு சபாநாயகர் அவர்களே, மதிப்பிற்குரிய அவை உறுப்பினர்களே, வணக்கம். நான் பிரதிநிதி எண் 5244 பஞ்சாப் மாநில குர்தாஸ்பூர் தொகுதி இப்பேரவையில் பிரதிநிதித்துவப்படுத்துகிறேன். நாட்டின் எல்லையை காக்கும் மண்ணில் பிறந்த நம் இளைஞர்கள் எதிர்காலத்திற்காக சொந்த மண்ணை விட்டு குடிபெயர வேண்டிய நிலை ஏற்பட்டால் அது நம்முடைய கூட்டு தோல்வி இல்லையா? இதற்கு தீர்வாக வள்ளுவர் கூறுகிறார், தாளாண்மை என்னும் தகைமை கண் தங்கிற்று வேளாண்மை என்னும் சேர்க்கு. அதாவது விடாமுயற்சி மற்றும் உழைப்பு என்றால் உயிரே பண்பை கொண்ட இளைஞர்களுக்கு பிறருக்கு உதவி செய்யும் பெரும் பருந்தையும் சமுதாயத்திற்கு முன்னேற்றம் பெருமையும் நிலைநாட்ட முடியும். ஆனால் இன்று குர்தாஸ்பூர் இளைஞர்களுக்கு வேலை வாய்ப்புகள் இல்லை. அதனால்தான் அவர்கள் போதைப் பொருள் பிரச்சனை சிக்கி சீரழிக்கிறார்கள், ஊரை விட்டு வெளியேறுகிறார்கள். எனவே குர்தாஸ்பூருக்கு வேற்று வாக்குறுதிகள் தேவையில்லை, ஆகப்பூர்வமான முதலீடுகளும் நிலையான மாற்றங்களுமே தேவை. அதை நாம் இன்று உருவாக்கவில்லை என்றால் நாளை வரலாறு நம்மளை மதிக்காது. வாய்ப்பளித்த மாண்புமிகு சபாநாயகர் அவர்களுக்கு என் நன்றியை கூறி இப்பேரவையிலிருந்து விடைபெறுகிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Such as Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the Nirbhaya Fund, Women's Helplines, Fast Track Codes, and nationwide safety campaigns as evidence of its commitment to women's safety. Yet the latest data tells a very different story. Cruelty by husbands or relatives remains the single largest category of crime against women, accounting for around 1.33 lakh cases. In other words, despite years of schemes and promises, the government has created a country where women are not even safe in their own homes. And for those who do seek justice, the ordeal does not end there. Pendency rates in crimes against women remain alarmingly high, 90.8%, meaning only 1 in 10 women receive the justice safety schemes, multiple helplines, and repeated awareness campaigns. If India is still witnessing one crime against a woman almost every minute, should this House conclude that the government's real failure is not a lack of policies, but a lack of effective enforcement? Because the simple question is, what kind of a government cannot guarantee that the women of its country are safe within their own homes? Thank you.
This is the Ministry of Women and Child Empowerment, 5274. First, let me start my answer with saying something. The government does not celebrate crime statistics. One crime against a woman is every crime against a woman is one too many. And our ministry's work is not to ensure that superficial data should increase or decrease in the years. But what we want is that it is to ensure that every woman can live with dignity and security in her own country. The opposition leader rightly pointed out that domestic violence still remains as one of the largest categories, and the government, sadly, it is right, and the government does accept it, and that is exactly why the government has introduced Nari Adalat, a community-based dispute resolution initiative that addresses domestic conflicts while promoting awareness of women's rights so that women know where to go when they face domestic violence in this country. And over the years, according to 31st December, over 1,042 meetings have already
crimes against women, but I don't think they also respond to crimes against women. In Manipur on May 4th, a mob paraded 2 women naked across the city. What was the government doing then? It took them 77 days to respond and a video had to be published. So what was the government doing then? Was the government sleeping?
The government, may I answer, Speaker?
Yes, you can proceed.
The government already undertook many CBI investigations out of the public focus because we wouldn't want the women feeling that the society's eyes are on them. The government was always working through CBI investigations, and it was only made public after 77 days. The government does not neglect these situations, and it's working towards that.
Meetings alone is useless. Doing those things is not going to work. You said 14,000 meetings. 384 domestic...
Clarification, I said 1,042 meetings.
Oh, sorry, that's even worse. 1,040 meetings. 1,040 meetings have happened, and still 384 domestic violence cases are happening. So does this show that the government is incompetent? Because you've implemented all the policies, like the minister itself told, all the policies you've implemented, crime still exists. Why? Because government is incompetent. Can we just accept that?
Domestic violence is deeply rooted in social norms. It is not the responsibility of government to completely eradicate domestic violence overnight. It is only possible through awareness campaigns. It is not solely the ministry's responsibility alone. Law and order is under state jurisdiction.
You cannot keep blaming social norms, but a law is enforced.
Order. Please maintain the decorum of the parliament.
Permission to give a rebuttal to the follow-up.
I request all the parliamentarians to take their seats.
Permission.
So what about the Kolkata rape murder case that happened on 9 August 2024, just like 4 days before the independence? That was when we were going to tell that we got 75 years of independence and still no women in India has the freedom to be themselves, to be safe.
May I?
You can proceed.
Respectable opposition party member, the government actually acted through multiple institutions about the Kolkata case. First of all, the investigation was transferred to the CBI under court investigation, and then the Supreme Court also constituted a national task force, and the Union Health Ministry also worked on hospital safety measures for the girl. And there was public towards the female, but the government was working behind the tracks and ensuring that justice was served to her.
Doing absolutely fine. Madam Finance Minister, unfortunately your explanation has only inspired more memes than it has confidence. Citizens cannot buy petrol with your explanations. Households cannot be managed with your narratives. Businesses cannot import crude with your long-standing optimism. Honorable Minister of Finance, I request that you explain what specific policy measures the government has implemented or plans to implement to strengthen the rupee and protect Indian households from rising import costs, beyond repeatedly stating that the dollar has become stronger. Reserves of over $650 billion between 2022 and 2025. Only when the fiscal year 2025 ended did we have about $665 billion in reserves, around $665 billion in reserves. Before that, we had not touched the $650 billion mark. We had only touched about $645 billion in 2020 at the end of the fiscal year of 2024. And also, Madam Finance Minister has answered a question I never asked. I did not ask. Our GDP has crossed $4 trillion. Foreign investors are still investing in India. But why has none of this translated into a stronger rupee? Are you admitting that despite record GDP, record tax collections and record government publicity, the rupee still cannot stand?
Energy security. We have promoted the Make in India initiative and production linked incentive PLI schemes. to boost domestic manufacturing, reduce imports and increase exports. We have encouraged trade settlements in Indian rupees with partner countries, reducing dependence on the US dollar in international transactions.
But rather the US dollar is strengthening. If that is the case, why has the rupee depreciated over several major countries over time? Not only US dollars, it has depreciated over Euro, British pound sterling, Swiss franc, Singapore dollars, and also Japanese yen, Sri Lankan rupees and Pakistani rupees. What is the reason for that?
Our objective is not merely to stabilize the rupee for a short time, but our objective is to build a stronger, more resilient Indian economy that benefits every citizen. It is not only just to see all other countries and just to make it better. We are just going to make our rupee more stabilized. It should be, every citizen should have, it's not just broken or else we are not going to compare with other countries, but we are just making it more resilient.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for the opportunity to speak. Honorable Minister of Finance, you've repeatedly mentioned in your speech that about the RBI interventions in the forex reserves. Well, my question towards you is, since the Reserve Bank has frequently intervened in the foreign exchange market, does the government have a long-term strategy to reduce dependence on such interventions? Or will defending the rupee continue to rely primarily on forex reserves? My question is towards the Ministry of Finance.
The Union Budget 2026-27 has given defence budget of rupees 7.85 lakh crore. This is 15% more than last year. Also, 193 defence contracts worth rupees 2,09,050 crore were signed in 2024-25. Despite increased spending and procurement activity, projects are still delayed. I request the Minister to explain how much of the 2026-27 budget is already spent, mentioning how many major projects are behind schedule, plus how much of the capital has actual military readiness. Is there any official proof available to verify the productivity use of this budget? Also, what action has been taken against these repeated procurement failures?
Will be delayed. I completely agree that the fact that India is still weak on the procurement lane, but some of the reforms that we have to include. So the first thing we have done to solve the procurement problem is indigenous production. That means India starts producing its own equipments instead of relying on foreign imports. So that when you take that into account, out of 5 lists over for that we have inducted the Tejas NK-1A, an indigenous fighter aircraft. We have also inducted LCH Prachand, India's first indigenous attack helicopter. And so the next point you have told is plus how much of the capital actually helped military. So there are no official number on official PIB website for the number. So that is my thing. And is there any official proof available to verify the productive usability of the increased budget? There is. So first, India's defense production and exports have been an all-time high compared to last year. Defense production has reached 1.78 lakh crores, showing that more military equipment is now being manufactured in India, as I mentioned before. And defense exports have increased to 38,424 crores, proving that Indian defense equipment is now trusted internationally. Respected delegate, fight from one of the machines you mentioned, some radioactive something. So the first thing I would like to tell you is that a lot of the major equipment such as jet engines and imported military equipments are actually being imported. And the foreign imports have been reduced by 30%, but we still rely on foreign imports for important parts because India has just now started indigenous imports, indigenous production, and you can't expect them to compete with world-class countries such as China, who's been doing it for many decades and have much more budget than India. So what you're telling is completely...
Recognition for the delegate number 5243. But why is the Minister of Defence answered the question? Shall I know the reason?
As the question was directed to the Defence Minister.
But you gave recognition to 5243. Major imports have consistently arrived years late and at inflated prices. If India's import dependence has repeatedly caused delays, cost overruns and past shortages. What assurity does the government give to trust current procurement decisions to avoid the same failures again? You mentioned about the indigenous system which the India is producing, but if it cannot, if it is not enough to satisfy the wars, the quantity of the war fighting systems in India, what assurity does the government give that it is following its policy, especially the Atmanirbharta policy, in the correct way?
So the Shadow Minister of Defence told that our current indigenous production is not enough to satisfy the capabilities of the army. So what I would like to answer is that, sorry, just a second. I mentioned that indigenous production has just started and it is nowhere near to the capability to support the entire army. We still rely heavily on foreign imports for the current use of our army. And what I told in indigenous production is to reduce dependence on foreign imports. So the aircrafts I mentioned, Tejas Mk1A and LCS Prasant, are already used for the parliamentarian as a times costs. And pensions are one which we actually give. So if there are any requirements needed for the Indian defense, the government will actually take it forward. And this is not just one pooled fund that we give to everyone. This is individual 4 funds. So that is something you need to understand.
Honorable Minister, reservation was introduced to help people who have faced social discrimination and have not had equal opportunities for a long time. But today, even with the same reserved category, not every student has the same situation. A student from a poor family and may have come from a well-off family and have access to private schools and same opportunity. How does the government make sure that reservation and welfare schemes reach the students and families who need support the most? I would also like to know what steps are being taken to fill vacant reserved posts, improve legal aid for weaker sections of societies, and make information about these schemes more transparent through RTI. Thank you.
I want to make that absolutely clear that reservation was never created to compare one disadvantaged citizen to another. It was created to correct centuries of social discrimination that historical injustice cannot be erased overnight. Justice. And the concern that students within the same reserved category may have different economic backgrounds does not mean that reservation is unfair. Reservation addresses social and historical disadvantage, while economic challenges are addressed through separate welfare measure. This government has never relied on reservation alone. Through metric and post-metric scholarships, hostels, fellowships, free coaching programs reserved. And Honorable Speaker, our approach is not one-sided. It is incorrect to suggest that the government has remained passive. Ministries and departments are regularly directed to fill backlog vacancies. And on the issue of legal aid, this ministry has continuously worked to strengthen, and we established schemes like guidelines, eligible public platform, and through the RTI, Right to Information 2005, every citizen of India has the right to access these information. The government has nothing to hide to its citizens. I repeat, the government has nothing to hide to its citizens. Thank you.
Members in the ruling party, they're not happy with the speaker, so I have to walk out to support them because this is my government, I'm ruling it, and I have to support my people if they're willing to.
Permission to provide a rebuttal. Permission to provide a rebuttal.
1 minute. So parliamentarians on the ruling side, I know you guys are not satisfied with the speaker. We've had this discussion. We want to finish off the agenda with the question hour. I request the Prime Minister to take your seat. There will be an impeachment after this session. We'll take a vote again. Again, I remind you, this was your decision earlier to retain the speaker and give them a fair chance. So I want you to hold on to that decorum and continue with the session.
நிறைய செய்முறை தொகைகள்லாம் வச்சிருக்கோம். அது today we all are Indians and we serve each other. If they have those solutions, why don't they come up with a solution? We can take actions towards that as a government. Why don't they give us a solution? If the opposition has a question, they should have the answer and solution as well. So why don't they come up with a solution? Until we are ready to...
Minister of Road Transport and Highways, the government frequently speaks of Viksit Bharat and world-class connectivity aiming to transform India's urban transit landscape. However, the data regarding daily life in the Varanasi constituency, a city witnessing unprecedented infrastructure transformation, reveals a significant burden on its residents. Traffic congestion in the Varanasi has reached a critical juncture. A 2026 urban survey indicates that over 72% of residents face daily traffic jams, with peak hours 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. brings significant parts of the city to a standstill. Despite major highway projects, the internal transit urban network remains overwhelmed. The rapid increase in public vehicle ownership, a direct response to the inadequacy and overcrowding of public transport, has rendered the city's historic and narrow roads insufficient. Further solutions like the upcoming urban cable car project, the current infrastructure lacks basic pedestrian safety with a chronic absence of footpaths and dedicated parking services, forcing people and vehicles into constant chaotic competition for space. We told the city is becoming a smart transit hub, yet the daily reality for millions remain one of the lowest productivity when the city's internal transit capacity is constantly outpaced by the population of the vehicles, when the government's promise of modernized connectivity is the complete opposite by the everyday reality of the roadside encroachment and inadequate public transit. Is this a success of urban infrastructure or a basic problem of planning?
But that we've just implemented, I can send you the photos in Civic Chat if you'd like. And second of all, when you say the narrow roads of Varanasi are not enough, you have to surround with buildings that have so much cultural significance that are very old. We can't just break them down and make bigger roads there. Secondly, to address the urban congestion issue, actually we are planning to implement this scheme called the intermodal stations, which will create a new channel of traffic in railways that will incorporate railways, autos, buses, private vehicles, taxis, everything basically to get to cities. The report for this will be published very, very soon. So yeah, the congestion problem is being dealt with specifically for Varanasi, I might add, and we can't just break down the city.
Honorable Speaker, the government speaks of Viksit Bharat, and yet in Whitefield and Bangalore, one of India's largest IT hubs, lakhs of employees have to travel 20 to 40 kilometers just to go to work, which take up half of their salaries. And why can't? And the Bangalore is also overcrowded to produce more IT parks. Also Bangalore is also called this Silicon Valley of India, right? So why can't we provide IT hubs in Bangalore and take 40 make the IT hub it makes efficiency very less, right? 40 kilometers per hour.
So basically, if you crowd everything in Bangalore in one day,
60-kilometer ring road phase 2. By completing and widening the massive ring road, head cargo trains, interstate buses and travelers heading to Bihar and Kolkata never have to enter Varanasi city limits, or else it is making other countries too less time. And also in Varanasi, we are making the metro duct, which makes less time to go to other places for jobs. So the government is also we are having concentration into the transports, and nowadays Varanasi is also having good infrastructure. There is an improvement in infrastructure.
We are advising all in every schools wide over India. We ensure that the young adults, like young people there, know how to drive and follow the road safety rules. Okay.
Nationwide road safety campaigns, stricter penalty under the Motor Vehicles Amendment Act 2019, awareness drives in schools and colleges, and regular driving enforcement by traffic police. Significant efforts have been made to educate public and deter offenders. Completely banning alcohol is neither practical nor guaranteed to eliminate drunk driving. The government's approach is to balance individual freedom with strict enforcement, public awareness, and responsible regulation to reduce road fatalities and ensure public safety.
In travel time, congestion reduction, road safety, and the quality
quality life of our citizens? If the latter, what evidence can the ministry place before this House to demonstrate such outcomes?
The first committee bill which is coming into presentation is the National Vocational Educational Reform Bill. I request the committee to come ahead for the presentation.
Is to introduce the National Vocational Education Reform Bill 2026 drafted by the Ministry of MSME.
Sorry, committee leader, please tell your constituency and your serial number and then start with the so you have to note down the scores.
So my constituency number is 5321 and I am from the constituency of Pasigat. Honorable Speaker, with your permission, I would like to state our bill. And whereas it is necessary to equip students with practical skills required for higher education, employment, entrepreneurship, and senior secondary education by integrating vocational and life skill education into the school curriculum. So this bill aims to create a balanced education system by combining academic knowledge with practical skills, employment opportunities. It also seeks to nurture adaptable individuals by strengthening their communication skills, leadership, teamwork, financial awareness and problem-solving skills, which enables the students to contribute meaningfully to the society. Honorable Chairperson, with your permission, I now invite my fellow delegate to present the need and objectives of the bill.
Number 5209, representing the constituency of Patiala. The need for this bill is simple. Today's world demands more than textbook knowledge. Students must know how to communicate effectively, manage finances, solve problems, use digital technology, and make informed career choices. To address this, the bill proposal will include areas like readiness, resume writing, basic taxation awareness, cooking and nutrition, along with other essential life skills. The main objectives of this bill are to create a balanced education system that combines academic knowledge with practical skills, to enhance students' preparedness for real-life responsibilities and employment opportunities, to promote vocational education, skill development, and experiential learning, to align school education with the vision and objectives of the National Education Policy 2020. I now request my fellow delegate, with the permission of the Honorable Speaker, to explain how this bill will be implemented and funded.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Thank you. Why is our education system designed in such a way that we teach kids majority of the things that they don't use in their real life? Why do the students graduate knowing the value of pi, the Pythagoras theorem, things they never use, yet remain unaware about how to file income tax return, how to write a resume or manage their finance and prepare for their career? So, the purpose of this bill is to bridge the gap between academic learning and real life application by integrating practical life.
Honorable Speaker, Section 5 of this bill outlines our expected outcomes. We are transitioning India from a nation of job seekers to a powerhouse of job creators. By the time a student graduates in that very uniform, they'll know how to manage taxes, build digital platforms, and launch an MSME startup. This rupees 10,000 crore outlay is a microeconomic investment that will pay off through skyrocketing youth employment and grassroots economic growth. We commend this bill to the House and now welcome questions from the opposition committees. Thank you.
See, I'm just giving an example. So how a root is growing, like when we were children we were taught like that. So that is how our practical...
You're not telling everything the school is teaching is irrelevant. So I think...
That's what your point was. That's what your point was.
You're not telling that. You're just telling the things which we don't use in actual practical life. Only they are going to be reduced and it will be analyzed by NCERT subject experts.
Okay, delegates, let's move on to the next question. 5308.
For vocational education across India's school system. However, considering that India has over 14 lakh schools, can the minister, can the member of the committee explain how this amount will realistically fund the infrastructure, equipment, and train infrastructure and maintenance without compromising the quality and how have you ever conducted any per school cost assessment?
Yeah, please answer the question.
So the 10,000 crore is of the current budget allocated for the education ministry, and this amount is not going to cover the students who are all over India. This amount is just gonna cover the students from grade 9 to 12.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question from delegate number 5200 of Agra.
Said that the applications like the Pythagoras theorem and pi doesn't really help for anything other than schools. Then can you explain me, if a student has the dream of opting for engineer, how would you go with this dream? You live in your own house, right? Don't you want to be safe?
Delegate, please answer the question.
So your question is that we are not going to remove the core concepts such as Pythagoras theorem and those which are
Yes, you
used
mentioned
in
that.
real life.
Then why should you mention
See, we are not going to remove it completely. We are just going to reduce the concepts which are less important and which are repetitive.
So do you think engineers don't use Pythagoras theorem much?
No, I think you don't understand this. See, this is not about engineering or doctor or all those degrees. Shika, may I pass it on to the delegate?
The time is up, so we need to proceed with the voting of the bill. Thank you.
Program which is like a test program for 1 year. With that, we will be testing NCRT and CBSE, which are major all across India. And then in the following upcoming years, we will be implementing this for all schools.
Which establishes the legal framework by defining the title, scope, commencement and key terms, ensuring the clarity and the consistency throughout the Act. And the Chapter 2 sets out the objectives and guiding principles of the bill, balancing freedom of expression with user safety, transparency, accountability and proportionate regulation. And finally,
Users' rights on social media like freedom of expression, the right to know why content was removed and the right to appeal moderation decisions. It also protects users from arbitrary censorship and supports privacy and due process. Next up, Chapter 4 lists the duties of social media platforms. They must keep clear community standards, appoint a grievance officer, protect users from harmful content and make moderation fair and transparent. Large platforms have extra reporting and accountability duties. My delegate number is 5245. Thank you.
Satire, debate and freedom of expression. Our objective is clear. Protect users without policing opinions. Chapter 6 strengthens public confidence by ensuring every user has access to transparent complaint mechanisms, fair appeals, time-bound grievance redressal and independent review body. Justice in the digital space must be accessible, impartial and accountable. Finally, Chapter 6 embeds transparency at the heart of platform governance by mandating transparency reports, disclosure of moderation policies, independent compliance and audits, and public accountability. We ensure that digital platforms are answerable not only to their users but also to democratic principles. Honorable members, these chapters rest on 3 pillars: safety, due process and transparency. Together, they create a digital ecosystem that protects citizens, respects constitutional freedoms and strengthens public trust.
Respected Speaker,
Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology is the main authority and the law will be funded through government budgets, lawful grants and permitted CSR support. It also includes digital literacy and training programs.
So Chapter 8 provides safeguards against misuse by ensuring due process, constitutional compliance and judicial oversight, and protection against arbitrary enforcement. Together, these chapters create a clear, balanced and right-based foundation for the entire legislation.
And penalties and enforcement. This chapter ensures platform accountability. Non-compliant platform may receive warnings or direction, while repeated or serious violation may attract proportionate penalties. Before any major action, platforms will be given an opportunity to rectify their shortcomings. All enforcements will be fair.
Hands with the meta encryption, saying that there will be no privacy, so that now even in Insta we can't share our photos to our friends. So where's the privacy encryption in that?
Go ahead with your. Are you asking, is there privacy encryptions, or is like it is not enough?
No, there was, but there is not now, and even in some apps there was not from
So
the
there
beginning.
was, but there is not now. That's why we are introducing this bill.
No, it's like it's not applicable right now. What you're saying is that
Delegates-
when the government has taken
Delegates,
it up.
I request you to please address through the chair.
I'm sorry, Chair. Can I speak now? I'm really sorry.
Yes.
So from the chair, I'm speaking that it's not applicable right now. Even if you pass it, again they'll say that the government should handle the privacy of each person and not each person of their own.
So you're telling about personal privilege, right? Like each person should maintain their own privacy, right?
Yeah.
That does not do anything with our government, right? Even if they do the privacy thing by their own, if they are intend to release any things, if it is AI doxing, let's take if it is AI doxing, some images or some contents are of you or just getting out, then that is why we introduced this bill. We protect it by using grievance offices, and the social media platforms are also intended to keep clear privacy encryptions for that.
With chair, I have one more question. Just
As there are many more questions coming, we need to move to the next question.
yes, thank you.
So 5337.
I belongs to Constitution Karimnagar. So my question is, can the government guarantee that regulation will not slowly turn into digital surveillance and superstition? Because today this law is for safety, but tomorrow can it be misused to control people? What about that? Who decides what is harmful? Control criticism of the government be labeled as disinformation. What about that? Can I get an answer?
Committee member, please answer.
So your point was, who decides which is the line drawn between freedom of speech and regulation of social media, right?
Can I answer, Speaker?
Go ahead, please.
My question is, who decides what is harmful? But today you have presented this bill as safety, but tomorrow it can be misused by people. My question is, who is controlling these things by, digital surveillance and superstition? Who is controlling these things?
So there is no single government arbitrary or controlling the line between these two, but platforms do control the line between the social media regulation and the freedom of speech. That's why we intend platforms to induce privacy encryption.
What about the guarantee from government that we can get it could not be misused?
That's why we have grievance officer. As we have mentioned in our bill.
Can you please repeat your answer?
That's why we have grievance officer who are appointed for these kind of stuff, which is mentioned in the bill.
Honorable Speaker, can I explain in Tamil?
Actually, it's already almost time's up. We need to go with one more question.
We did not just refer other countries for the bill. We did our own, and we have special features.
Yes, wait, there's a point of information.
I'm not saying you're copying other countries. I'm saying the same similar kind of laws were implemented in other countries. How will you ensure that that the same outcome that they had will not repeat in India?
So, can you be more specific about which could go wrong?
They've always led to over-censorship, selective enforcement against political opponents, and reduce public discourse among people. So, what design features do you have in your bill that will prevent this?
So, for example, let's take over-censorship, which you told right now. Over-censorship has failed in other countries, right? So, again, we have grievance officers for that. We induce.
Honorable Speaker and respected members of the Parliament, myself Shyam Nitik, representing the constituency Delhi, and my serial number is 5195. Artificial intelligence is no longer the future, it is the present. Around the world, AI is transforming education, healthcare, agriculture, governance and industries. Yet, millions of Indian students still complete their schooling without learning AI, coding or computational thinking. If our education system does not evolve, our students will only compete with. That is why we are introducing the Artificial Intelligence and Coding Education Bill 2026. This bill proposes the phased education of AI, coding, computational thinking, digital literacy and digital ethics as compulsory learning in all schools. More important, equal opportunity whether a child studies in Delhi, Madurai or even Theni or even the students belong fund for infrastructure, teacher training, student support and innovation. No student will be denied learning due to financial hardship. Eligible students get tuition. We're also making digital ethics compulsory with cyber security education.
I request every delegate to be speak through the chair. It is not just a one-on-one session. It's in the parliament. Please maintain order. No more points, please. Just move through your questions. 5257. Please proceed with your question.
Of human. The human interaction is going to be reduced, and what about the health of the students who always digitalize and they're going to be isolated?
Please go ahead.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. So, the answer to your question, AI is not completely going to replace teachers and it will not reduce loss of their jobs. They are just going to assist in their teaching pattern. It's the teachers that will be the main authority in the classrooms, which will take help of the AI in teaching the students about this digital ethics and then computational ability.
In chapter 10, clause 26, the bill states that if a school fails to comply with the act, they may be subjected to conditional suspension of financial assistance. Underfunded school is struggling to buy computers and hire properties. How can you just take out that funding? And won't it destroy the school and ruin the students' life?
Crores will go as funds to the school. And no school wants to miss out on new learnings. Every school wants to have AI because that's the only way students will join that school. So when we meant financial assistance will be removed, we meant temporarily the AI financial assistance will be removed so that in the future schools follow it properly.
Honorable Speaker, may I proceed?
Yes, please.
Honorable Speaker, how can the government ensure that the 14,000 crore National AI Edu Fund is transparently managed and reaches schools at the grassroots level while preventing misuse or diversion of funds by institutions or authorities?
Speaker, may I answer the question? Yes. So as I clearly stated in the presentation, a National Oversight Commission will be created to ensure funds are used transparently and every school complies with the Code of Ethics created by the National AI Curriculum Framework. The National Oversight Commission will take care of that problem.
Thank you.
Constitution number is 5306 and I represent the constituency of Shillong.
Children Bill 2026 establishes of the existing child protection laws through standardization. Now I have to pass the mic to Delegate of SIGTEC.
I am delegate number 5314 representing the constituency of Silchar. Key provisions 1 in our bill is all about strengthening child protection and safeguarding. This ensures a uniform child safeguarding across all educational institutions. This includes mandatory child protection training for all staffs upon requirement and annually thereafter. Mandatory background verification for all prospective employees. Student reporting systems that will remain anonymous, and visitor access control, which manages the visitor over my mic to the representative of Hassan.
370, representative of Hassan. Safety cannot be achieved through policies alone. It must be reflected in the physical environment students interact with every day. Therefore, Chapter 2 of our bill proposes measures to strengthen school safety infrastructure. Physical security measures like installation of CCTV camera, visitor verification systems, regular emergency evacuation drills, ensuring that identification systems, gradual implementation based on the institution's financial and technological capacity. Safe School Corridor Program to identify unsafe routes frequently used by students, collaboration with local authorities and law enforcement agencies. Now I hand the mic to the MP of Machilipatnam.
Speaker and respected parliamentarians, our provision strengthens student welfare, mental health and safety in educational institutions. Every school will provide access to qualified counselling services with a goal of one counsellor to 500 students, offering confidential support and referral when needed. Schools will also conduct regular child safety and digital safety education, covering abuse prevention, consent, cyberbullying, online grooming, privacy and reporting mechanisms. Together, these measures create a safer and more supportive learning environment for every child. Now I'd like to pass on the mic to Delegate of Hassan.
While establishing safety measures is important, ensuring their effective implementation is equally essential. Therefore, Chapter 4, Administration, Monitoring and Enforcement, says that annual compliance and monitoring, enforcement measures, Student Safety Fund. Now I hand over the mic to the...
So for Chapter 5, which is funding, to ensure long-term implementation, we estimate the annual cost of this bill to be approximately 3,500 crore rupees. Funding will follow a base cost-sharing model of 60:40 between the central and state governments, a 90:10 for northeastern and Himalayan states, and 100% central funding for union territories without a legislature. These ratios may be adjusted based on a state's fiscal capacity and implementation needs. The central government will primarily fund nationally coordinated initiatives, while the state governments will provide counselling services, inspections, transport safety, and local implementation. I now hand over the mic to the representative of Silchar. The expected outcomes are to establish national safety standards, protect students' well-being, improve early reporting counseling and mental health support, and to ensure accountability, safer schools, and inclusive learning environments across India. I would now like to hand over the mic to the representative of Shillong to provide a conclusion. In conclusion, this bill combines prevention, protection, accountability and sustainable funding into one comprehensive national framework. By strengthening safeguarding standards across India's educational institutions, we aim to create safer learning environments where every child is protected, supported and empowered to succeed. Thank you. And that's why we have given just 6 months to start and fully implement this.
We're not stating that we're not strong enough to provide proper legal prosecutions on these people who are not following the rules. We have a whole chapter dedicated to that, how we provide warnings, and you can read on that, and how these 6 months just make sure that proper inspections are made on these schools.
Speaker, and can I see, these 6 months are not that much of a long time to correct safety deficiencies, because If we give these people, if we give the schools 6 months to correct it, they will thoroughly correct it. And if they do not thoroughly correct it, we have, further legislation to take action against these schools. This 6 months is provided to the schools to completely and thoroughly correct these safety deficiencies.
After crisis, we can solve it easily. So it should.
Speaker, shall I answer?
Yes, please.
So, our bill is mostly preventative measures. It is even mentioned in the introduction to the bill that compared to POCSO, this is a preventative measure bill, and most of the legislation introduced in it are preventative, such as the Smart Student Safety ID card and the safety student ambassador program, and the safe school corridor program, and the mandatory reporting systems. All of these are preventative measures rather than rather than the ones you said. So I hope this clears your doubt.
Next question from no. Yes, please go ahead.
Many schools in India already have safety measures such as CCTV surveillance, complaint mechanism and child protection guidelines. Yet incidents of abuse continue to occur. This shows that the challenge is not merely the absence of rules but the ineffective implementation, monitoring and accountability. What will be the steps will you implement to prevent this from happening?
This has been already answered in the bill.
Okay, go ahead with the voting process.
Safe in educational institutions. Thank you for considering these ideas and allowing them to pass. Thank you very much.
We have some very important announcement. First announcement from the juries will come up. So today sum up what you have done, what you have not done, what you should do tomorrow. Juries will be telling now. Good evening. Good session, very good session. Actually, bro, we didn't expect this to come out this well, honestly speaking. Very good. A lot of you came very well prepared for this. We could see the preparation, something was reflecting in the way in which you spoke and addressed confidently. Good show. So, just have few feedbacks or suggestions from our end, from the jury end. One thing, please don't read it from your mobile. It's really boring to watch it. You had the time to prepare. This is all prepared stuff that you are. You know what the committee is going to discuss. What the 90 seconds you've got to present your parliamentary, your constituency issues. You could have very well understood the issue and presented it as a live session or something. It's boring to watch it from watch people read the content from the mobile over and over again. You could maybe the second session for presenting the 90-second thing. Just understand the issues and then present it. It's okay. That's one thing. And even for discussions, it's okay to use AI to get the data and stuff. And once again, don't just read out the AI replies. But we haven't given very good scores for those who just read out their AI replies, whereas the parliamentarian is speaking and then respond accordingly. That has given better scores to those parliamentarians. And about next thing is the parliamentary discipline. We could see people that gather and discussing among themselves when the speaker is talking over here. that doesn't look like a parliament. Follow the etiquette here while you're presenting. This is a session, so that's one thing you should correct. And languages, we could see someone speaking in Tamil, yes, very good. Maybe if someone is comfortable in Telugu, Malayalam, it's okay. It's a parliament thing, right? It's okay for you to present in your mother tongue if you wish to. This will make the room look more diverse and a little break from the monotonous stuff. And the other thing is, there was no clarity initially when it comes to the ruling versus the opposition. Both the groups were on the same line. The ruling party technically can't support what the opposition is saying, right? So even if you agree to it, you can't publicly acknowledge what the opposition is saying. That clarity needs to come in when there is a discussion or debate that's happening. These are few points that we discussed. You could take it as a feedback.
Here to move on to the next round. Is that correct? Or you guys came to enjoy this moment? You want to move to the next regional round, right? So prepare yourself and be on that line. We just want every parliamentarian to be online to improvise yourself. Okay? So it is not about reading the AI in the same. Even if your answer is not technically right, it is your answer, you will get marks. Okay? And we have one more announcement from Prabhu.
No, it's not more than an announcement. It's just a feedback on my observation here today as event chair. So I just want to commend the speakers here first for doing a wonderful job. I know they've been under a lot of pressure. And I want to thank all the parliamentarians, the cabinet ministers, the prime ministers, the leader of opposition here for doing their duty today. Tomorrow is again another day where you will get your opportunity to improvise yourself and be better. Hopefully tomorrow is the day for you. And we are trying to see if everybody can participate. Please raise your placards, be it in your local language, Tamil, or be it in your mother tongue. Please go ahead. So all the best for tomorrow as well. And know that you will be scored tomorrow as well. And last set of announcements from Vishnu.
Yes, as an event chair, what we thought was that you guys did individually perform. It is about your individuality. Make sure you are not influenced by someone else. Take your own decisions. Okay? And for tomorrow we have announcements. Morning 8 a.m. sharp reporting. 8:30 the session will start. So it is 8 a.m. and you can dress like someone, really imitate a parliamentarian. You can dress up imitating one parliamentarian who is present now. So, and the AI tool, use it as a tool, it should not override you. And placards, the placards that you are having today, take it back safely, bring back tomorrow, because this is the number that judge will be judging you with this placards, and ID cards are mandatory. Is that clear? Tomorrow, what time? 8 a.m. sharp reporting, 8:30 the session will start. There will be chances for everyone, those who are left over today, because we have a tracking and everyone will be noticed and you all will be getting the chance. Is that clear? And now we have some refreshments outside. You can have it. Thank you all. Thank you speakers.